Okay, I have no idea what this is, so let's check it out. Impure pile of craponite. I'm guessing it's going to be crap, but we're grabbing it anyways. By the way, welcome back, guys. I'm just out here at night in the dark trying to find some more stuff. I'll turn the brightness up for you guys a bit. I've kind of learned that copper is going to be a bit of a pain in the butt this time around compared to what I was used to in my server because of the changeover from regular copper to chalk copperite and that. So it's going to take me a little bit here to get the amount of copper I need to make my first bronze here. I did end up finding a limonite vein. So I'm getting malachite, however you choose to pronounce it. The only real issue with it is you only really get one nugget per ore, and without being able to double it right now, that's really a large waste. So I don't want to use this malachite because I've gotten 9 of them so far, and that's going to make me a whole 1 copper. But I did end up getting what I needed to do the wrench, make the firebox. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. Drop a little bit of stuff off here so I got some room since I just came back. I really got to check this out. This might be something that another mod actually added or something. Looks like it has gem form. It's a level 2 ore. Mining speed of 7, attack damage of 5, 256 durability, so it's not really that bad, but I have never heard of this one. Alright, you guys are just getting freaking annoying. Shut up. Get away from my door. Damn it. Let's see, I need to get this out of here. And I had some comments I gotta talk about too. First off being about my lead file and rod here I made. I do know that I can get the stuff back out of them, but it's not something I can get back out now. See, the problem was that I actually needed it right that moment. I needed the lead, and I don't have the crucible and firebox made, so I can't do it the other way. So I do know that I can do it that way, but it's a matter of having the ability to do it at the time that I needed to do it that I didn't have. I added a couple mods in here. I added storage drawers to give me a little bit of a different kind of inventory management. I had been thinking about adding it in, but hadn't gotten around to it yet, and God suggested that's what I add, so I'm gonna give it a shot. And because I like barrels and I wanted to try something a little different than the typical Java that I normally use, I decided I would add factorization. So factorization is going to give us all kinds of weird stuff. There's big colossuses to find and mess with. It's got different machines. I may not get into too much with the ore processing that it has, which is kind of its base. You use these diamond cutting heads, and their power system's a little weird, but I might eventually play with it. But the main reason why I added it was to get the barrels it has, and I haven't played with it in a long time, so I figured what the hell, I'd give it a shot, try it again, see what it's got to offer now. I think it might add a little bit different mobs to deal with as well. So that'll be interesting. And there we go. We got our first wrench. So now we can put this together. This goes here, this goes here. These go around there. And that goes there. And that gives us our solid fuel burning box. Now, I do want to upgrade this as soon as possible because it has a fuel efficiency of 50%. So if you are one that does the math and figures out how much fuel it's going to take to do a certain recipe, you're going to need twice that amount for this. I don't typically do that. I throw the shit in and let it go, and don't really do the math most of the time. I'm going to put that bad boy there, put my crucible on top. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a learning curve for me. Anybody that's been playing with this probably is already used to it, but when I originally started with this, I could right click on here and it would tell me in the chat what the temperature was, and I'm not going to be able to do that, so I'm going to have to really pay attention to it to make sure I don't melt down my crucible. When I first was messing around with this, I went through quite a few crucibles, so you never know, I might go through quite a few this time around. There's another mod I am looking at that God suggested, which is a like future mod. I think it's Latin named, but it basically ports in the... Now look here, jackass, stop hopping around. ports in a lot of the changes from 1.8 and 1.9. I haven't had the time to really look at it and give it a test yet, so I have not added it yet, but I'm seriously thinking about it. The one thing I'm going to have to kind of decide is there is already andesite, diorite, and granite added by Chisel 2, and that's one of the things it adds. So I'm probably going to have to turn that part of it off. One thing factorization adds is the thing to stop Enderman from picking up your blocks, so I won't have to worry about Enderman stealing my damn dirt anymore, because that just annoys the hell out of me. Okay, so now that we got that, and it's going to be quite a while now before I get my suit to keep me from getting burned, so I might actually melt myself down quite a few times here, because I'm going to forget, I know, and probably melt myself down. And I want to kind of explain the choice that I made on my mold here. I made an ingot one rather than a plate one because I am terrible at clicking the right spot, and I know that when it comes to doing the rods, I'm probably going to misclick, and because the plate isn't all out, that's the best one to save until you need it or for last. That way you can get everything else done. And if you make a mistake, then you just turn it into a plate. So that's why I chose that. I will make it before I need to make another plate. That way I don't have to hammer plates anymore. But that's why I chose to do it this way. And let's see here. I'm trying to decide on what mold I actually need to do next, which is probably going to be the plate is probably going to be the next one I need, but like I said, I don't want to make it right this second. There was also a suggestion I had in my server LP, because I want Greg to add a cover for this thing where you can put a lid on it, so when you break these they won't hop into it. And this is the suggestion I was given to use to try. So since I don't have a thermometer on top like I do in that world, I'm going to give it a shot here and see how it works. Somebody else gave me a script for doing flour to bread. I want to explain the reason why I was asking the forums about it. It's because I wanted Greg aware that it was missing at the time. I have no issue with mind tweaking recipes, and I was actually just going to leave it the way it was and make bread the old way. the vanilla way for now until he got it in. But that's kind of the best way to get Greg to re-implement something, is to, bring it to his attention, ask him about it. So I appreciate the script that you made, but that was kind of the reason why I did it, not because I couldn't do it myself. Let's see. I also want to get another thing made here. This is from Immersive Engineering. I hate doing sandstone like this, but I don't have a desert close by, so I really don't have a choice. I haven't found any sandstone around this area. Now I need 27 of these, and that's only 16. Crap, I am not going to have enough. I guess I can do the first half of it at least. Let's see, 3, 4, because normally I make 2 of these at a time, because you're going to end up with an extra block sitting around if you don't. Why am I one short on my clay here? I guess it doesn't really matter since I can't make the full thing, but I need 27 of these, and if I do just one, I'm going to have one extra coke brick. So I always make 2 sets, and I'm going to have to do just a little bit more clay to get that done, and I'll have to go find a little more sand, which is not really a big deal. But I want to go ahead and get this in so I can start making charcoal. I will not use charcoal for my firebox because I need the dark ash to make iron and stuff until I can get carbon out of graphite, which I'm going to have plenty of graphite down there since I found that diamond vein. And I guess that's something else I need to kind of explain when I said that my first vein I found was that diamond vein. I don't count the ones on the surface as one that I found because you just kind of trip over them. You're not really hunting for them. The ones that I dig for are the ones that I consider found. Now, I'm not going to be able to make this, and I'm not going to be able to use it until I make my first iron because I need the engineer's hammer. Let's see here. I need this bad boy right here, so I need 2 pieces of iron. And I have 1 because I killed a zombie again, and he was nice enough to give me 1. But I don't have enough to make the hammer, so that's just going to sit there, but I wanted to go ahead and get it made. Let's see, I have 2 crushed copper, 1 copper, so that'll make 3 plus a little bit. I might actually have enough here for 4 or 5. I'm looking at the burning box here. The bronze one is a little bit better than what the lead is, and if you look, the energy output is only 16, where this one is 24. So not only is the fuel going to be less efficient. It's going to be slow as shit. And I'm actually going to save you guys and not do any smelting with the early burning boxes on camera because of how slow and tedious they are. If anybody wants to see how slow they are, I did it back in my original videos, and I have all kinds of people complaining because I actually showed it, but I have a reason why I did it. That's because I don't want people to get into playing with this mod and think that it's going to be, you know, super easy, super quick. You know, understand that this is a mod for people that have the time and want to put in the time to have more of, I guess, an immersive, realistic style experience in Minecraft. It's not something that if you're wanting to get to OP status and godlike status super quickly, this would not be the mod for you. Like God had mentioned, he didn't think that me putting rotary craft in here would be a good idea because of how much of a iron sink it is. If we go look at rotary craft, everything takes this HLS steel. There are some things that he has actually changed to allow tin and copper, I think, for now, so it's not quite as bad, but you know, everything takes this HSLA steel, and it is basically iron to make, so it takes a butt ton of iron to get this done. But you know, this is going to be a long lasting mod pack, kind of like my Gregtech 5 is the same way. I'm actually thinking about adding this in my Gregtech 5 as well, just so I can play around with it a little bit in both mods. I've always wanted to be able to play with this with Gregtech 5 and never really had the chance to it, or chance of it. There are some things that I won't really get into with rotary craft. Like I probably will not be using the extractor, which gives you up to 5x ore processing, because I have Gregtech. This is going to be my main way of processing ores. Now, when I go in the twilight and I get regular ore, I may choose to use it just to play around with it, test it out. But it's not something that I'm going to be, you know, rushing to, because unlike most people, I don't go for what is the easiest, what is the best, what is the most efficient. I go for, you know, what my preference is on what I like and what my design for the pack is. And my design for this pack is to be Gregtech based. So that's what I'm going to use for most of my processing stuff. Now, I will be using the wood chopper to help with collecting wood. and I'll probably use the drill boring thing. I've never used it before, to help with doing my tunnels, but you know, nothing crazy like the extractor. It has forestry integration in it to where you can use it to centrifuge your honeycombs and stuff, but I will probably use Gregtech mainly for that as well. But you never know where I'm going to get to. I might, eventually get to the point where I say, okay, I've done everything I can with Gregtech. Let's try something different. And I might get into a different mod a little more heavily than what I plan to here at the beginning. But at least here at the beginning, Gregtech is going to be the core content you're going to see. And like I said, I have the Twilight Forest in here. There is regular gold or regular iron ore in the Twilight, where in the overworld there is no regular iron ore. So that will probably be the iron that I use if I'm going to use the extractor or the crusher from, if I can spell, this thing here from Magneticraft, and then there's another one from Immersive Engineering. I thought was also named the Crusher, but oh, wait a minute. I may not be able to look it up because it doesn't have a block. It is called the Crusher, but it's made with the structural stuff, so there isn't an actual multi-block block that I can click on for it. But anybody that really wants to see what the immersive engineering ore processing looks like, I will be doing that in the upcoming videos for Evolving Technology modpack. That's actually one of the next things I'm going to be doing in there, so you can watch that if you're interested in how immersive engineering stuff works. Holy crap with all the damn creepers. I guess it's good because for HS... Oh shit! Oh, that was bad. Oh crap. Scared the hell out of me. God, I hate when that happens. Now I've got a big freaking mess up here I gotta deal with. Just blew all my dirt up. Blew up one of my trees. Oh goodness, I hate creepers. I really do. I really hate them early on when I'm using stone frickin' tools. They take so frickin' long to kill. Just burn already, you dickheads. So I can deal with this jackass here. I don't want him blowing up again. I did get one piece of wood, so I can go make me another sword so I can deal with him a little easier. I can't even remember now what the hell I was talking to. Or talking about. Got me so flustered. Jackasses. I hate creepers. They are really a pain in the butt sometimes. I always give Junior crap when he's playing about getting tunnel vision, because he'll see a mob or a load of mobs that he needs to deal with, and he won't look around behind him or whatever to see what's there to flank him and kick his ass. And I don't know where in the hell he thought he was going there for a minute. And then here I'm talking and not paying attention, and it happens to me. Anyways, tools, that was another thing. Talking about me digging all the gravel to make or to find flint, and then using stone pickaxes for tools and stone swords for fighting. I use the stone swords for fighting because I don't want the fire damage on zombies, because I don't want to be hit by them. Stone is something I am going to have ass tons of, because as those of you that watch my Gregtech 5 stuff will know, I don't void anything. I don't leave anything laying around to despawn if possible. There is like one thing that I will let despawn, and that is impure stone dust. I'll keep my regular stone dust for roads and stuff, but actually washing stone dust is not something I will do, because again, I will have ass tons of stone. So if I really need stone dust for something, I will have the ability to make it. And when I get into proper ore processing, I will have ass tons of it from doing that, and it really doesn't have a whole lot of use. So stone dust is the one thing that I will kind of throw away, especially the impure ones. But other than that, I don't throw anything away. So I will have butt tons of cobblestone. So for when I start out, my pickaxes will be cobblestone, and my swords will be cobblestone. And until I get to where I feel I'm in a relatively good place, they will be what I use for my tunneling, because cobblestone is pretty much free. It's everywhere in the world, and I will be getting it from the tunneling and getting more than what I would have gotten, or what I have lost in making the tool itself. So, it makes sense to me to just use cobblestone for that. Alright, you need to shut up. You are annoying. You need to die. You need to go away. I don't need you. I don't like you. Creeper told me the other day that your mama doesn't even love you, so just die. That's a mean thing to tell somebody. Your mama doesn't love you. Like I said, I'm probably going to start on IC2 crops a little early in this, where I normally do not. I don't like growing crops. I like mining my ores. But copper and tin will be tin will always be a pain in my ass. I don't know what it is, but I can never find it. It is always something that I need. And again, with all the mods I have needing iron like crazy, it might be a good idea to get some Faru crops out here. I've been playing around with the Gregtech 5 crops a lot on the server. I need to do a video and show you guys what I've been doing. I've gotten some of the really high up Gregtech 5 crops. I actually got a crop this morning when I got on the server. I found out I had one that I've actually never managed to get before, and that is diarrhea. I have never gotten a diamond plant before, so I was really excited when I got that one. Now I do believe Gregtech actually nerfs the diarrhea. At least Gregtech 5 does, as far as I know, where it doesn't actually give you diamonds. It gives you like tiny diamond dust, I think. So you have to really work to get it and then use an implosion compressor to make an actual diamond from it. Another thing that Ungod said about Rotary Craft was something about diamond issue with Rotary Craft. I've never experienced that issue yet. If I do, it's not really a big deal, because again, I have Twilight Forest in here, so I can get a regular diamond ore if I need it. But I do believe, I want to look this up here. That right there is the Minecraft diamond. And if I use this, and let's see, why did I leave that first page? There should be a way to put that in here and make a diamond. Well, let's just do it this way. I should be able to make a diamond. It's flawed, exquisite. It makes regular Minecraft diamond. I guess the converting in these over to regular diamonds isn't in here. And if I do this, that's supposed to make an industrial diamond, not a regular diamond. So I have no idea. I've never even seen this before. That's a new one. So getting Minecraft diamonds shouldn't be a big issue. Or using diamonds from the diamond ore down there, because I can smelt them if I need to, rather than making industrial diamonds. I can just smelt it one for one and get a regular diamond that way. So unless there's some strange NBT data or metadata tag on it that Greg has added that I don't know of, there should be no issue with using a Gregtech diamond for anything that Rotary Craft needs. I'm not even sure if there's anything that Rotary Craft needs that I have ever made with rotary craft that needs a diamond. I've never used the diamond shafts, or at least I haven't yet. I always use the steel shafts, but I'm gonna look in here. Okay, so the diamond shaft core needs a diamond, and it needs diamond shaft units, which needs 3 diamonds, but it shows that diamond, so it shouldn't be an issue. I can't use the industrial one, but I should be able to do this without an issue. Trying to look. Diamond gears, I've never used them either. I always have used the steel ones, like these right here, these shafts. I've never needed one that's that fast and that durable. I guess if I get into reactor craft, which I have in here, but I'm not sure, early on, well, reactor craft's not anything that I'm going to be doing early on, even if I wasn't doing Gregtech. I don't know exactly how much I'm going to get into it. I'm actually thinking about adding nuclear craft, because nuclear reactors is something I like to play with. So having different ones from different mods that I can fiddle around with is something I like the idea of. And the nice thing is, with rotary craft, there's a way of changing power over to EU, so I can use Gregtech IC2 power. Immersive engineering also switches over, which I have found a kind of issue with their switching over for Gregtech stuff. If you guys noticed on my Gregtech 5 world that I have it connected to my power grid just fine through a wire. I tried it on the server and the wire wouldn't even take the power. And if I connected it to a transformer of that range, so it would be, I was trying to connect low voltage to a low voltage machine, it blew the machine up. I tried connecting it to a low voltage transformer, which would then be able to take up to MV, which is 128. It also blew it up. Now, when I hooked it up to a IC2 transformer, it was showing that it was putting out 32.5 EU a tick from the connector of IE, which could have been the reason it was messing up when I connected it straight to the machine. But it should not have been the issue when I connected it to the MV input of the Gregtech transformer, because that can take up to 128 EU. Now, what I'm figuring is that it might be an amperage thing or some kind of server issue. Because like I said, I have it hooked up on my single player world and I have had no issues. But I'm seriously thinking about switching it over to where it goes through an IC2 transformer first when I build my new powerhouse, just to make sure I don't blow shit up, because, blowing shit up really sucks. But I'm going to stop rambling and talking and all that good happy horse shit and let you guys get out of here. Been going on for about 45 minutes here and haven't really gotten a whole lot of anything done but talking and explaining. As you can see, the Minecraft Christmas stuff is kicked in, so we have our Christmassy chests. I didn't actually chisel them to look that way. I'm not the biggest Christmas cheer type guy that I'd go around and actually chisel all my chests. I do like Christmas, don't get me wrong, I'm not a Scrooge. But to me, presents aren't the most important part of Christmas. Love, sharing, giving, and not meaning giving presents is, a lot more important part of Christmas than, the gift you're going to get. It's more about the gifts that you can give than what you can get, in my opinion. I'm not a commercialist. I don't go out and buy ass tons of gifts for Christmas. I actually have told my son that if he wants to ever give me a present for any holiday, not just Christmas, that I would prefer him make me something than buy me something, because it's something that I would cherish a lot longer if it's something that was given to me from his creativity or from his heart, rather than money that he went and wasted at a store. Not to say that I don't appreciate the 20-inch monitor that he bought me for Christmas this year, because I do appreciate it. And I appreciate it greatly that he chose to use the money that he got from his newspaper route to get me he gets tips around Christmas from his newspaper route, and he chose to get me that for Christmas. And so I do appreciate it, but I appreciate, I guess, the gesture more and the sentiment more than I do the actual gift. I appreciate the gift because it's something I can use, something that I actually need or needed. But the sentiment and the fact that he did it means more to me than the actual gift itself, if that makes sense to y'all. So, in that, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I hope everything is well with you and yours, and that you have a Merry Christmas. And I will see you probably tomorrow, which will be Christmas Day for me. And I might actually live stream tomorrow instead of record. I know a lot of people will be spending time with their families today and tomorrow, so they may not be watching videos, and I would rather them spend the time with their family than watching my videos for Christmas. Where in the hell did that creeper go? He's gonna blow shit up again. Oh, he went back down that hole. So I might just live stream for those that don't have anything else to do, and let this be the video you guys can watch for the next 2 days. So if I do live stream, it'll probably be Gregtech 5, trying to get stuff moved over there. And I might actually do a little bit of that tonight, depends on how I feel. Take it easy. Have a good day. Get the hell out of here already.